first option. I hope you have this PDF, so you can refer this back also. So first option is both A and R are true, and R is a correct explanation of A. What is A and R? First of all, let us understand is what is A and R. So your A is a statement given, and R is a reason given for that statement to be true or false. Right? So first option is both A and R are true, and R is a correct explanation of A. Second is both A and R are true, but R is not a correct explanation of A. A is true, R is false, A is false, R is true, right? So this is very confusing question, right? I bet you must not have seen this type of question in your life. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right.
सर
So
देखा है
from to okay, good. देखा है तो अच्छा है, right? So this type of questions are asked in gate examinations, right? A statement is given and you need to
Yes, sir.
identify whether both the statements are compensating each other or both are independently true, or one is false, one is true. So can anyone give correct answer for this? What is the correct answer for first question?
B, sir, B.
Both A and R are true, but R is not a correct explanation of A. Wrong.
सर
Yes.
A.
Guess किया है कैसे? So question number 1,
सर ए आंसर होगा.
the correct answer is A, right? What is A? A means both A and R are true, and R is a correct explanation of A. You need to understand the fundamentals for giving this answer. आपको
Yes.
ये चीज बहुत ही you need to read it very carefully. What is written? Steel is particularly useful for carrying heavy loads with relatively small sections as compared to other structural material. This is a point given for steel material. Why we are using steel, and then R is a reason given for that. That why steel is used as a structural material and it is better compared to other materials. So as compared to other structural materials, steel has high strength to weight ratio. That is a reason given for that. So the reason is correct for the above given statement. So both A and R are true, and R is a correct explanation of the A, right? So question number 1 answer will be A. Let's go to question number 2. Now shall I open the PDF every time? I hope all of you are having the PDFs. So shall I open the PDF every time? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
No,
okay,
no.
no worries. No worries, no worries. I'll
Yes,
open it.
sir.
No worries. Okay, question number 2. Again, statement. Which of the following statement is false? So 4 statements are given. I'll read out all the statements one by one. Meanwhile, you can those who read it, they can give answer. Steel can be reused. Then being heavy, it is quite difficult to transport. Steel has a very long life when maintained properly. Steel is a ductile material. And you need to identify of the following statement which one is false. Which is a false? Which one is a false statement from this?
B.
B, right? Being heavy, it is quite difficult to transport. So for question number 2, the correct answer is B. Right? It is not heavy because we are having slender sections. So sections are not as much heavier. Coming back to question number 3. What is question number 3? Let's see. Go back to question number 3. For steel in contact with water and soil, and those subjected to alternate wetting and drying, how much additional thickness should be provided in steel sections? So this is
Wow.
for the connection in water. If you are providing steel in connection with water and soil, how much additional thickness should be provided in steel sections? Any guess? Because I'm sure you will not be knowing this. Okay, the correct answer is 1.5. Question number 3, correct answer is 1.5. This is just general. There is no logic in this. These are the standards, right? So if you are providing steel structures which are in contact with the soil or water, whatever calculations you have done, you need to provide extra thickness to accommodate for the corrosion and all those things, right? So for steel in contact with water and soil and subjected to alternate wetting and drying, you need to provide 1.5 mm extra thickness. So question number 3, correct answer is B, 1.5 mm. Moving back to fourth one, again there are statements. Which of the following statement is true for compact section? So there are four statements given. There are four statements given. You can read out the statements and tell me the correct answer. Question number 4. So first is the stress distribution for such section is triangular. This can develop plastic hinges and have rotation capacity required for failure of structure by deformation of plastic hinge. By formation of plastic hinge, this can develop plastic moment of resistance but have inadequate plastic hinge rotation capacity for formation of plastic mechanism before buckling, and none of above. So this required some fundamental knowledge. Those who read the IS codes, IS 800 2007, they will be able to answer this, but I'm sure there are very few those who have gone through the IS codes. Right, so quickly move forward because these are just the statements. There is no explanation to this. Right, so question number 4, the correct answer is answer C. That is for compact section. This is the property of compact section. This can develop plastic moment of resistance but have inadequate plastic hinge rotation capacity for formation of plastic mechanism before buckling. So again, I go back to the writing pad and question number 4, correct answer is answer C. Next, moving back to the question number 5. This is very simple question. I hope all of you will give answer for this. Question number 5. Which code is used to calculate earthquake load on structure? Come on, fast. Earthquake load. कौन सा code?
B.
sir, B.
D.
D.
B.
Okay.
D.
Who is saying V?
So the correct
This is the
answer
correct
D.
answer.
Yep.
IS 1893. Right? It is so simple.
Sir,
This type
D.
of questions are also asked in GATE exams. Right? So don't think that you need to prepare very difficult questions only. You have to focus on some easy part also. All right. Moving back to the 6th question. For a moment resisting frame building, the fundamental natural period TA is given as. I think this is not a part of a curriculum, right? So we'll skip this because this is given in the earthquake part. So we'll skip question number 6 because it is not a part of our current curriculum, right? So next is question number 7. The yield strength for mild steel specimen was found to be 250 Newton per mm square. What will be working stress if the factor of safety taken as 2.5? Okay, this is somewhat explanatory question. Question number 7. What you are supposed to find? You are supposed to find working stress. So what is the formula to find out working stress?
Yield strength into the factor of safety.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So let's go back to the writing board and clear all these answers. Okay. All right. So working stress is been asked, right? So working stress, the formula for working stress is yield strength divided by factor of safety. So what is the yield strength given in the data? 250. Yield strength is given as 250. And how much factor of safety you have taken? 2.5. So what will be your answer? Come on quickly. What is your answer?
100.
100 Newton per mm square. Right, so simple one-step calculation. Only you need to remember a formula or equation. You put value, get the answer. Clear? Working stress has been asked in the question number 7 we are solving. So if you are having PDF, you go to PDF, question number 7. It has been asked to calculate working stress, and yield strength is given and factor of safety is given. Right? So in the exam, the values can be different, but the formula will remain same. Clear? Shall we move forward?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. All right. Question number 8. Again, a very simple question. I want everyone to answer this. The heaviest I section for the same depth is?
ISHB. C.
C. ISHB.
Question number 8. Heaviest section is answer. Question number 8, answer is C, ISHB.
C.
Right?
C.
Indian Standard Heavy
C.
Beam. In the name, it is already given. Right? So I'm not going into much detail because this is self-explanatory. All right. Coming back to question number 9. The load factor is defined as? What is, how we are going to define load factor? What is the formula for load factor? What is the formula for load factor? All these formulas are given in IS 800 2007. So we are not doing anything new. Question number 9, correct answer is A. Ultimate load divided by yield load. Load factor. See, this is load factor. Don't confuse by the similar equations. Familiar equations. You have seen yield load divided by working load. You have seen ultimate load divided by working load. But see the question also. This is asked for load factor. So for load factor, correct answer is answer A. That is ultimate load divided by yield load. All right. This is given in code, so I don't need to explain this. You need to remember these equations, these formulas. All right. Shall we move forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you can also do that if you are finding this boring, you can tell me anytime, right? We go back to our PPT mode.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next question is, again, there are some more options. Which of the following method of design would be suitable for metal structures subjected to stress, reversal, and impact? So 4 methods are given: simple working stress design, rigid plastic design, semi-rigid design, elastic rigid design. Out of these 4 methods, which method is suitable if the structure is subjected to reversal stresses and impact? Now let us understand what is the meaning of reversal stresses and impact. So suppose we are doing the design of a beam as a compression member, and due to the earthquake force, during the earthquake, the compression force has been reversed to tensile force for a certain period of time. This is called stress reversal. Right? So it is designed for compression, but the compression has been turned into tension due to some lateral movement, due to earthquake or wind or whatever it is, or due to impact. Right? So for those type of metal structures, which method is suitable? So there are options given, right? 4 options given. First is 1, 2, and 4. Second is 1, 3, and 4. Third is 1, 2, and 3. Fourth is 2, 3, 4. So out of this option, you can observe that 3 methods are correct, 1 method is wrong. Yes or no? 3 methods are correct, 1 method is wrong, because in each and every option, there are 3 answers given. Right?
Yes.
So from the options, you can identify that out of all these methods given, 3 options are correct, 1 method is wrong. You need to identify the wrong one. So the wrong one in this one is the rigid plastic design. The rigid plastic design, because this type of design is not possible. This is not there in any code. So once again, I'm repeating, you need to refer IS codes very thoroughly. Right, so for this question, the correct answer will be B, because 1, 3, and 4 is the correct answer. That is simple working stress design, semi-rigid design, elastic rigid design. All right. So question number 10, answer is B, 1, 3, and 4. Okay, we move back to question number 4. Again, there are statements given. Similar question. Consider the following statements regarding tensile test diagram of carbon steel with varying carbon contents. As carbon content increases, the ultimate strength of steel decreases. The elongation before fracture increases. The ductility of metal decreases. The failure strength increases. Now again, out of these statements, some of the statements are correct, some of the statements are wrong. So can anyone guess what will be the correct answer? As the carbon content increases, out of these 4 things, what happens? As we increase the carbon content in the steel, what
It's
happens?
still strength
The D is right.
increases still
The ultimate strength
increases
decrease,
that one
decreases or increases?
increases
Increases. So first option is not
increase.
there,
Yes,
right?
sir.
First option is not
First
correct.
wrong.
What is the second option? What about second option? The elongation before fracture increases. So if you read in the code, if you add carbon in your steel, it will increase the strength, but it will reduce the ductility,
Oh,
right? So if the ductility is reduced, then elongation is also reduced. So second point is also wrong, right? Coming up to third, ductility of the metal decreases. So that is correct one, right? As we increase the carbon, the ductility of your steel structure, steel member will decrease and ultimate strength will increase. So correct answer is, the correct options are 3 and 4. So now what will be the correct answer? Come on fast, I give you the answer.
A.
A, right? 3 and 4. So this is like this you need to think. When you have multiple options, you need to eliminate each and every option one by one. So correct answer for this is A, right? Next question, question number 12. Again, there are statements given. Aluminum is being increasingly used for structural purpose because its modulus of elasticity is double than that of steel. Its coefficient of thermal expansion is half that of steel. It requires less maintenance. The strength to unit weight ratio of aluminum is high. So again, you need to identify the correct one. So let's identify. First is modulus of elasticity is double than that of steel. So for this, you need to know what is the modulus of elasticity of steel and what is the modulus of elasticity of aluminum. So first option is wrong, right? Second is coefficient of thermal expansion is half that of steel. All these values are given in IS 800-2007. For different materials, these coefficient values are given, right? So out of all these 4 options, the correct answer for this is the option D, that is third and fourth. These are the 2 reasons why aluminum is increasingly used for structural purpose, because it requires less maintenance. So aluminum, it requires less maintenance because the corrosion is less compared to steel structure, and the strength to unit weight ratio of aluminum is high. The strength to unit weight ratio for this is high compared to steel structure. So question number 12, correct answer is option D. These are the reasons why we are using the aluminum as a structural member. Now moving to the next 13th question. In the context of the ultimate load theory of steel, the stress strain curve for steel is idealized as. I want answer from you because this has been covered in your IS code or lectures also.
Bilinear.
13th is B,
B, sir.
right? Correct answer is B.
B.
Correct answer is B. Correct. Yes, correct. So in the context of the ultimate load theory for steel, the stress strain curve for steel is idealized as bilinear. Correct answer is B. 14th is also, you know this answer, unit mass of steel and modulus of elasticity.
A.
Excellent, right? A, 7850 and 2 into 10 to 5. Okay. So next, 15th, as per IS 875, for the purpose of specifying basic mean velocity, the country has been divided into how many zones?
6.
IS 875.
4.
6.
This is about wind loading, huh? Not earthquake.
4.
This is about wind. Who is this four? Who is giving this answer? Four.
Me, Jay.
Four is wrong answer.
Sir, 6.
Four is for
6.
earthquake zone,
6.
right? So
6. 6.
for
Sir,
wind
6.
till wind loading, it is divided into 6 zones. So do not get
Okay.
confused between earthquake and wind. Read the question very carefully.
Okay,
Here
sir.
it is IS 875. So for wind specifications, our country is divided into 6 zones. And last one is also self-explanatory. IS 800 2007 is based on
D.
Limit state.
exactly
D.
right. It
Limited.
is limited method. Okay, right. So this completes our first chapter, introduction. So this, I hope you are able to understand what type of questions can come in your exam. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I hope you are finding this interesting, also not boring.
So how many
Yes,
joules?
sir.
14.
Sorry?
For 15th one, what is the answer?
6. C.
Oh, C. Okay.
Okay. So this completes our chapter number 1, introduction. Right? As simple as that. Within 15 minutes, we're done with the chapter number 1. Now coming back to chapter number 2, that is riveted, bolted, and pin connection. Right? This will get a bit difficult. So let's start. First question is, two 10 mm thick plates are connected by lap joint to transmit a factored load of 100 kN using black bolts of 12 mm diameter and grade 4.6. The minimum number of bolts required for safe design would be. How to find minimum number of bolts? Fu is given as 410 MPa. So this is a long question. The solution is long, so we are going to skip this. Right? There is a long solution for this because this is equivalent to one example that we did in a lecture to find number of bolts. I'll just quickly go through the procedure. So if you want, you can solve this. So first, for 4.6 grade bolts, let me write here on the board so that you can understand.
Bearing and shearing.
Okay. So for 4.6 grade bolts, what is FUB?
200. Yeah.
How to find FUB?
So it's 400.
4 into 100. Equals to 400.
It is FY, not FUB. %60 of 400. Okay, sorry. Okay. It is 400. It is 400. Right. You are correct. Okay. Just let me erase this. It is 400. Okay. The answer is correct. 400. Right. 4 into 100. Right. So next is we need to find the strength of bolt in singles here. Strength of bolt in singles here. VNB. What is the formula? That is ANB into FUB divided by root 3 into gamma MB. I hope all of you are aware of this formula. Right, this is the strength of bolt in singles here. After that, we need to find strength of bolt in bearing. So V NPB is equal to 2.5 into D into T into FU divided by gamma MB. This is also known to you. Right, so out of these two values, whatever minimum value is there, that is your bolt value. You're going to find bolt value, right? And from that bolt value, you can find the number of bolts. So this is similar to your example. So I have given you the steps. You can go back and refer your notebook for solution. This type of question will not be asked for our examination that you are supposed to give in this semester, but this type of questions are asked in your GATE exams. So those who are preparing for GATE exam, they are supposed to know these formulas and know these steps, right? So I'll give you just directly the correct answer for question number one is C. If anyone wants to calculate and verify, the correct answer is C, 5 number of bolts, right? Okay, next question. If a diameter of a bolt is 22 mm, then maximum number of bolts that can be accommodated in one row in 150 mm wide plate are how many? Once again, I'm reading the question. If diameter of a bolt is 22 mm, then maximum number of bolts that can be accommodated in one row in 150 mm wide plate is how many? So this is very intelligent question, and this type of question can be asked in your exam.
Sir, 2.
Oh, how? How to? Can you please explain how to? Answer is correct.
Sir, pitch is 2.5 into 2 diameter of bolt is equal to
2.5T. 2.5.
150 150 divided by 5 his answer is 2.7, so is equal to answer is 2.
Exactly, right? So you need to think these values also, you need to think like this also. So who is this? Who gave the answer?
Sir, Dhruv.
Dhruv, very good. Correct answer
Dhruv.
is 2. Correct answer
Hardik,
is 2.
sorry to disturb.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. No problem, ma'am.
Subhash,
Yes, ma'am.
you mute yourself. Okay. Yeah, Hardik, continue.
Okay, we go back to the next question that if the same number of bolts has been used in the joints, then which of the following pattern will yield highest efficiency? All right, so this is also a very interesting question. For that, you need to know the fundamentals. Once again, I'm reading the question. If the same number of bolts has been used in the joints, let us assume that 5 number of bolts are used. Then which of the following pattern will yield the highest efficiency? Chain, staggered, diamond, and staggered diamond. So for this, you need to know first, you need to visualize all the patterns. Which one will give the highest efficiency? Any answers? First, let us see what is chaining, what are all these patterns. So chain is all bolts are in one line only. What is the next pattern given? Next pattern is given as staggered. So I think these are the staggered ones, 3, 4, and 5. This is just I'm assuming that there are 5 bolts. Next is diamond pattern. Right, so this is a type of diamond shape will be there. And last one is staggered diamond. So there are staggered diamonds will be there. So out of all this, which pattern will yield us the maximum efficiency? Right, so this type of practical questions will come. You can find a number of bolts. It is very easy to find number of bolts. But which type of pattern to provide for getting the maximum efficiency? This is the practical question. Right, so out of all these 4 patterns which are practically possible, the diamond pattern will yield us the maximum efficiency. It will give us the highest efficiency. Right, so correct answer is diamond. Answer number C, diamond pattern will give us highest efficiency if the same number of bolts are to be used to create a joint. The correct answer is answer C, that is diamond. All right, shall we move forward?
Yes,
Quickly,
sir.
someone can answer. Okay, okay, great. So next, for reversal of stress, the most suited bolt is. This is again a fundamental question, practical question. For reversal of stress, most suited bolt is. So all of you are aware about type of bolts, right? Black bolt, turn bolt, friction grip bolts, and ordinary bolts. And I am sure that I have seen this PPT also in your classroom, that which type of bolts are suitable under which condition.
Sir, C, friction grip.
So question number 4, correct answer is C, exactly, right?
Yes.
Animes it is, right?
C.
Animes? Okay, good, good. Right, so friction grip bolt
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
is used for the stress reversal, where you expect stress reversal in your structure. In that case, you go for friction grip bolts to create the joints. Next one is also, I guess you can be able to answer. High strength bolts are designed on the basis of what? Friction, tension, compression, or shear. Who is this?
Subhash.
Subhas, correct answer, right? So the high strength friction grip bolts, the name also suggests high strength friction grip bolts. So it is obvious that the answer should be friction. So you need to keep your eyes wide open and search for clues also. Clues are there in some of the questions. So for this type of question, high strength bolts are designed on the basis of friction, because the highest strength we can get in the type of bolt that is called high strength friction grip bolts. So question number 5, answer is A, that is friction. Now moving back to question number 6. Again, it is a long question, but we see, I'll show you the step, right, how to solve, because this type of questions are asked in the GATE exams. So let us see what is given here. For the connection as shown in figure, the bolt value will be, you need to find the bolt value for this type of connection. The figure is given, you need to find bolt value. So again, the same question that as this one, right? Here it is asked to calculate the number of bolts. Here we need to find the bolt value. So same step, we need to find out the shear strength of bolt in single shear. Then we need to find out shear strength of bolt in the bearing, that is 2.5 kb into d into t into fu divided by gamma mb, right? And out of these two, whichever is minimum value, that will be your bolt value, right? So the steps, should I write or should I move forward? Should I write the steps? Anyone quickly answer. Should I write the steps?
No, sir, no. It's okay.
All right, because I
No,
already
sir.
dictated the steps, right? The steps are same,
Yes, sir.
right? So only the way of asking is different. All right, I'll give you the correct answer for this. The correct answer for this is B. So you can solve at your place. Correct answer is B, 70.2 kilonewton. Right. Next, again, there is a calculative question. So I would rather skip this question, because this is a equivalent to an example, 7 mark, 8 mark example. Right. So this type of question may not be asked in your semester examination, but you need to keep in mind, those who are preparing for GATE exams, this type of questions are asked, right? So you need to know each and every formula. In the GATE exam, the IS codes are not allowed. Similarly, for our exam also, IS codes are not allowed. You need to remember these values, formulas, right? So try to remember the formulas, try to remember the values, because in the external exam also, for you guys, IS codes are not allowed. Clear? Okay. Okay, we go back to question number 8. We're coming to question number 8. So this is a simple question, right? I hope all of you can answer this. Two steel plates, each of 10 mm thickness, are connected by double cover butt joint by bolts as shown in figure. Right? Double cover butt joint is given. Remember this, double cover butt joint. If the bolt diameter is 20 mm and the steel is of grade 410, then which of the following section is the most critical section for the main plate? You need to identify the critical section. And I know that we did this in the classrooms, right? So let's see the option. The first option is section 1.1, second option is section 2.2, and section 3.3, and both 1.1 and 3.3. Which is the critical section in this figure? Section 1.1, or section 2.2, or section 3.3, or both 1.1 and 3.3? Which section will be the critical section?
Both D.
Wrong.
Yeah.
To identify critical section, you need to see how much area is available before that section and after that section. So let us see section by section. So if I want this section to fail from here, it has to fail all this part, and then it will fail from here, right? So most of the stress, this force is acting like this. So the amount of force that is acting here is less compared to this part. Are you understanding? The stress is reaching less here. Yes or no? This is the interior section. Are you understanding? Right. So in short, if this type of figure comes in the exam, the section which is critical section is the section which is nearest to the load. The section which is critical section, it will be the nearest to the load. So load जहाँ पे लग रहा है उससे सबसे पहला जो section आएगा, that will be the critical section, because the maximum stress distribution will happen here. If you do the analysis of this type of joint in the software used for FEM analysis, that is the ANSYS, right? For example, if you could prepare this type of section in ANSYS and draw the bolts and then apply the load, you will find that the maximum stress concentration happens in this section 3.3 because it is nearest section. Clear? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So for this question, what will be the correct answer now? Which is the critical section? C, right? Section 3.3, because it is nearest to the load, or it is at the last section, last line of bolts. Okay. So this is how you can identify, right? This is somewhat intellectual question. You need to use your visualization. Okay. Coming back to the next question, question number 9. When the axis of load lies in the plane of rivet group, then the rivets are subjected to what? Once again, read the questions very carefully. Do not be in a hurry to give answers. When the axis of load lies in the plane of rivet group, then rivets are subjected to what? First option is only shear stresses, only tensile stresses, only compressive stresses, and torsional moment. So if the axis of load is within the plane of rivets,
A. Shear stresses only.
exactly, right? Exactly. Only shear stresses, right? Because it is going through within the plane of the rivet. So only shear stress will act. So correct answer for question number 9 is only shear stresses. Right? Only 2 or 3 students are giving answer. What about others? What other students are doing? Okay, move forward. Question number 10. Again, a simple question. Which of the following type of riveted joint is free from bending stress? We have covered this also in lectures.
C.
Which of the following type of riveted joint is free from bending stress? Question number 10, correct answer is C. But a joint with double cover plates.
Yes.
All right. Next, again, a simple question. The difference between gross diameter and nominal diameter for the rivets up to 25 diameter is. There is a table in the IS 800 2007. From there we find out the diameter of bolt hole. For 25 diameter bolt, how much extra bolt hole we need to provide?
2.5.
Wrong.
Two.
Up to 25 mm.
Sir, 1.5.
1.5, right? 1.5. Right, this is there in table. You need to remember these values. So now you can understand that which type of questions can be asked. So accordingly you can refer the IS code. Previously what is happening that we all are saying you that refer the code, but you were not clear about that what to refer and how to refer, what is the important part, what is not so important part. So by solving this type of MCQs, you get an idea that what are the important things and how the questions can be asked in the exam. Right? I hope I'm able to convey the message to all of you. Okay, question number 12. As compared to filled rivets, the soft rivets are stronger, weaker, equally stronger, any of above. What do you think? Filled rivet, soft rivet. I hope all of you have heard this because we have used these values in our examples.
A
So
stronger.
filled rivets are stronger. Filled rivets are stronger or soft rivets are stronger.
Sir, saw pivots.
Soft rivets are stronger, right? So as compared to filled rivets, soft rivets are stronger because those are made in the socks. So more accuracy can be achieved than compared to the filled rivets. So the correct answer is A, stronger. Next again, if the thickness of plate to be connected by rivet is 15 mm, then suitable size as per Unwin's formula will be. I hope you must not have heard about this Unwin formula, right? So I'll explain this, how to find this. So let us understand the question first. If the thickness of the plate to be connected by a rivet is 15 mm, so thickness of plate is given as 15 mm, then suitable size as per Unwin's formula will be, right? So we need to find a suitable size. So I am sure you are not aware about Unwin's formula. So I'll explain that here. So diameter of rivet as per Unwin's formula is given by diameter of rivet as per Unwin's formula is given by D is equal to 6.05 square root of T mm. 6.05 square root of T mm, where T is the thickness of plate in mm. So what is the thickness of plate given? Come on, can anybody answer? What is the thickness of plate given in the data? Hello, anyone there?
5.
15.
Yes.
15 mm is the thickness of plate given. So this is your answer. Solve this. Come on, quickly. Find the answer. What is the answer? Come on, quickly. 6.05 into square root of 15. No one with calculator?
23.43.
Yeah, 23.43 mm. Right, so this is our answer. Let us see what are the options given. Oh, in the option there is, this answer is not there. 15 mm, 16.5, 22 and 24. So 23.43 mm is the answer. So for this,
You can take
the correct answer is C. The correct answer is C.
20.
Why? 22 mm is the correct answer. Why? Let us understand why. The correct answer is C. So let us write adopt 22 mm as Unwin formula gives diameter on higher side. So whatever value we have got, this value is on the higher side, right? Whatever value we got, this value is on the higher side. So we need to reduce that value. Most of the time what we do, if our answer is coming 23.43, we increase the value most of the time. Yes or no? Am I correct? Most of the time we increase the value, but whenever you are using this unwind formula, this unwind formula gives the higher values. So we need to reduce this value. So the nearest value which is there in our options, the nearest value which is there in our option is 22 mm. So correct answer is C, 22 mm. Right? So don't make this mistake in exam. See the question very carefully. If there is unwind formula, then you need to reduce the value. So don't choose this 24 mm because it is nearer to 24. So there is a general tendency to increase the value. Right? So for this, correct answer is C. And I hope you have noted down this formula also, unwind formula. That is this one. Right? 6.05 into square root of t. 6.05 into square root of t. Okay, moving forward. Question number 14. By providing sufficient edge distance, which of the following failures of riveted joint can be avoided? Now this is again a logical question. By providing sufficient edge distance, which of the following failures of riveted joint can be avoided? Tension failure of plate, shear failure of rivet, shear failure of plate, crushing failure of rivet.
Shear
Can
failure of
anyone
plate.
answer? Shear failure of plate. Exactly the correct answer. I think it is Nima.
Yes.
Good, good. Now, I'll give you one small explanation for that because others may not understand. So what will happen? By providing proper edge distance, we can prevent shear failure, splitting failure, bearing failure of plates. Sorry. So if we are providing the edge distance, so if we provide edge distance properly, we can also prevent another failures also other than shear failure. We can also prevent splitting failure. So this same question can be asked a different way also. Now, let me write down here. So first, by providing a proper edge distance, first failure we can prevent is the shear failure. Second failure we can prevent as is splitting failure. And third failure we can prevent is bearing failure. All these failures are for plates. Right? So this can be asked for, suppose in some of the question, the options, this option will not be there. They may ask for splitting failure also, they may ask for bearing failure also. Right? So question can be twisted, but the fundamental will remain the same. So we go back to our PDF file. Question number 14, correct answer is answer C, shear failure of plate. Right? Next, for filled rivets, permissible stresses are reduced by what percentage? For filled rivets, permissible stresses are reduced by which percentage? This is just a simple answer, no logic in it.
10%.
Wrong. Correct answer has been highlighted on your screen. 25. So when we are using filled rivets, the permissible stress are reduced by 25%. Right? Because we are putting the rivets on the field, so there are chances of some errors. Accuracy is not as good as the shop rivets, as good as the factory made rivets. Right? So that's why we are reducing the permissible stress. So 25% is the number by which we are reducing the stress. Okay, question number 16. In which of the following cases a structure is fastener over design. Again, I'm repeating. Which of the following cases a structural is fastener over design? First case is given as when design is based on Unwin's formula. Second option is long sustained loading leading to creep when the reversal of stress takes place. In fatigue loading, select the correct answer using the codes given below. Again, there are some answers are correct, some answers are wrong, or it may be possible all the answers are wrong. So question number 16. What is the question again? Let's read. In which of the following cases a structure is fastener over design? That means we are providing more number of fasteners than required. So first option given here is when design is based on the Unwin formula. That is wrong. Long sustained loading leading to creep. That is also wrong. When reversal of stress takes place, yes, this can be the reason. And in fatigue loadings, this is a correct reason. So two reasons are correct here. When the reversal of stress takes place, in that case we need to provide extra number of rivets or extra number of bolts to take care of those reversal of stresses and to take care of the fatigue loading, because steel is not good under the fatigue loading criteria. So to accommodate those effects, we need to provide extra fasteners. So it is also called this type of structure, that is, the name is fastener over design. We need to put extra number of bolts or extra number of rivets in these two conditions, condition 3 and condition 4. Right, so correct answer from this is answer number C, 3 and 4, when reversal of stress take place and in fatigue loadings. Again, there are statements given. Question number 17. I think we complete this page and then we'll stop. Okay? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So 17 number question. Which of the following statement is correct? Material cost of a rivet is higher than that of bolt. Tensile strength of bolt is less than that of rivet. Bolts are used as temporary fastenings, whereas rivets are used as permanent fastenings. Riveting is less noisy than bolting. So you need to know the difference between rivet and bolt. Any guesses? Which of the following statement is correct? So let's see. Material cost of rivet is higher than that of bolt. Wrong. It is not higher than that of bolt. So first option is gone. Second, tensile strength of a bolt is lesser than that of rivet. That is also wrong. Both are almost same, and that depends on the grade. That depends on the grade, right? Third one is bolts are used as temporary fastening, whereas rivets are used as permanent fastenings. I guess this is wrong, right? This one is wrong because this is not a temporary fitting, right? Bolts are not a temporary fitting. It is a permanent joint that we are applying, right? So let's see the last one also. Riveting is less noisier than bolting. Correct. Riveting is less noisier than bolting. So the correct answer, or I should say the wrong option, is this, because in the question we are supposed to choose the correct statement. So correct one is this. Last one is also, I think I said yes, right? There's a correction there. Last one is wrong. Riveting is less noisy than bolting. It is wrong. So correct answer is answer C. Bolts are used as temporary fastening, whereas rivets are used as permanent fastening. Okay.
Yes.
Next, question number 18. I think this is again a calculative question, but I'll show you the steps, right? So a 16 mm thick plate is joined by a double cover butt joint using 10 mm thick cover plate. The steel has a permissible tensile strength of 150 megapascal. What is the efficiency of joint per pitch of 9 cm if 20 mm diameter power driven shop rivets are used? efficiency of joint is you are supposed to find, right? Efficiency of joint is what is been asked. So I'm sure that we have done this type of examples in your classrooms. Let's quickly go through the steps. Okay, so first we need to find, I'll go step by step. First we need to find gross diameter of bolt hole, that is the DO, right? Bolt hole diameter. So 20
Plus
plus
2.
1.5,
2.
20 mm, 1.5, 20 mm it is 1.5. Then we need to go for the shear strength of double shear strength of bolt in double shear. So we need to find shear strength of bolt in double shear, all right? And after that, efficiency of joint, there is a formula for that. Efficiency of joint is given by strength of joint divided by strength of plate per pitch. And multiply by 100 to get the percentage answer. So this is the formula to find out the efficiency. This is the formula to find out the efficiency. The correct answer for this question, I should write down here, it is 33.62. Right, correct answer is 33.62. Okay, noted. This type of question is not asked, cannot be asked in your semester exams, but still those who are preparing for GATE, I'm explaining the steps. Okay, we move forward. Question number 19, simplest question. Minimum pitch of the rivets shall not be less than
C.
2.5 T.
2.5 D.
question number 19. Correct answer is C, 2.5 D. Right. So from where you can get this answer?
Code. IS code.
Code, right? So IS code. Okay. Next, efficiency of a riveted joint having minimum pitch is. Now this is logical question. Efficiency of a riveted joint having minimum pitch.
60%.
Question number 20.
40.
Correct answer is 60%.
Yeah.
किसने तुक्का मारा?
मैंने सर.
राइट, तो तुक्का मारने की भी प्रैक्टिस करनी होती है. डायरेक्ट एग्जाम में तुक्के मारने नहीं होते.
सब चीज का एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए ना सर.
हाँ, तो वही एक्सपीरियंस मैं आपको करा रहा हूँ अभी. Question number 20, correct answer is C, 60%. And last question for today. As per IS 800, the rivets subjected to combined tensile and shear stress are proportioned such that formulas are given. Right, so these formulas you are supposed to find out from the IS code which one is the correct formula. So question number 21. I'll give you the answer because I'm sure you'll not be knowing the answer, right? Because the IS code is not been referred thoroughly by you guys. So again, I request all of you to go through the IS code. So as per IS 800, the rivets subjected to combined tension and shear stress are proportioned such that Fs divided by Ps plus Ft divided by Pt is less than or equal to 1.4. This is the correct answer. Now don't ask me how this formula is coming. This formula is given in IS 800 2007, right? Instead of watching the Netflix, you need to go and refer IS codes.
Yes, sir.
Right?
कितना पढ़े सर? IS code बहुत है.
Yes, well, I know that there are too many things in the IS code, but by solving the questions, you get an idea that what type of questions can be asked from those. By directly reading the code, it is very difficult that what is important, what is not important. But when you sit with MCQs, when you solve the MCQs, you get an idea that, oh, this test, this line can be asked as a question in an exam like this also. Right?
Yes,
So you
sir.
need to mark those points in the codes. Right. So I guess we have done 21 questions, and in the previous section we did around 16. So almost 40, around 30 questions we did, right? So we'll continue in the next session. I'll share the answers for all the PDF that I said, right? I have the answers for this. I'll share the answers, and you can refer
Okay,
this.
sir.
If you have any doubts, you can ask me your doubts. Okay. Any
Okay,
doubts
sir.
in today's session? Any question?
No, sir.
Because we explained everything, right? So there should not be any doubts.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Any suggestions for this session? Well, how was the session?
So it was good.
Right. So
Good,
should we
sir.
continue doing like this, or should we move back to the PPT form?
नहीं सर यही सही है.
Because I thought the PPT part is kind of gets unconnected, not boring, unconnected with your exams.
हाँ.
Right? It is important, but for the current scenario, it is not required to learn all those steps. Whatever important, you go through this only. So I thought that MCQs will serve the purpose better for this session. Right. So if you have any suggestions, any questions, any doubts,
ये
yes.
आप MCQ करवा रहे हैं
ध्रुव, आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही है.
सर ये क्वेश्चन करा रहे हैं उसमें से कोई आने
हाँ.
के चांसेस है कि नहीं?
I can't say.
सर ये MCQ क्वेश्चन करा रहे हैं उसमें से कोई आने के चांसेस है कि नहीं है?
I can't say. I don't know. आ भी सकते हैं, नहीं भी आ सकते हैं.
ओके सर.
It depends on your luck.
भाई लोग यही सारा बहुत बड़ा है कि गेट से पेपर बना रहे हैं सर.
ओके
But this exercise will help you to open your mind.
मतलब सब IMP जैसा रिफर कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, you can refer like this. कि ऐसे MCQs आप प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो. There are lots of sites available on Google also. You can directly search on Google MCQs related to design of C structures. You can prepare from there also. Okay. Any doubts?
No, sir.
सुभाष यादव, क्या बोलना चाहते हो? We have reached up to 21 students out of all 3 classes. What others are doing? Others are busy in finishing the series.
Others are studying. Self-study.
Okay. So I hope this 1 hour has helped you. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, in exam we are. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, in exam we will be having IS code or not?
No IS code.
Then, sir, how we will going to solve?
All of you are aware about your exam. Right, your exam will be online. Your exams will be online only.
Sir, Calci
Right, so in that there are strict security. Maybe that is not sure, but you can use calculator. There is a method of using a calculator. If you are sitting in front of your screen, so how the exam will be conducted? The camera recording will be on in your system. Plus, your screen recording will be on. Right. So if you want to do anything, you do it in front of camera. So suppose you आप नीचे देख के कैल्सी यूज कर रहे हो, कुछ लिख रहे हो, तो आप जो भी लिख रहे हो, जो भी कैलकुलेटर में कर रहे हो, उसके लिए आपको कैमरे को उसकी तरफ घुमाना पड़ेगा. Otherwise, it will be termed as a cheating.
Sir, to be practically possible नहीं लगता है.
उसी के लिए हमने mock exams रखी हुई है, right? So that is why we are saying that you appear in the mock exam, so your all doubts will be clear. कि एग्जाम में कैसे रहना है।
ओके
can we
सर
solve
सर पर एक
numerical
डाउट
from
अभी
the
भी है
rough
सर।
book?
फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट डे वी हैव
Sir,
स्टेप इन सिविल, सर हमको ऐसा बोला था कि हर एग्जाम में कोड मिलेगा, और सर अब ये 10 दिन पहले
हाँ,
हम सब कोड कैसे रिफर करेंगे सर? कोड याद करना
कहाँ
भी बहुत
10
बड़ी
दिन है?
बात है।
कहाँ 10 दिन है? 10 दिन के बाद एग्जाम है।
सर तो भी सर आर्ग्यू मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, पर सर मैं कोशिश करूंगा सब करने के सर, पर तो भी अगर 1 महीना 2 महीना 3 महीना होगा सर, तो भी कोड 5 है, 5 कोड याद करना
सी,
सर नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल।
कौन कौन से 5 कोड है? गिनाओ मुझे।
सर अगर 2 भी करना हो तो भी सर नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल होंगे।
कौन से 2 है? गिना मुझे।
I have 800.
एंड
Sir,
सर ये जो पीडीएफ थी सर, वो तो गेट के लेवल थी क्या सर? क्योंकि उसमें तो एमसीक्यू के जो ऑप्शन थे वो भी सर एप्टीट्यूड रीजनिंग से रिलेटेड थे, 1 2 A B टाइप वाले सर। जो पहला क्वेश्चन था एमसीक्यू का, जो उसका आंसर था ए और बी, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग से सर उसका निकालना था।
no, 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 this is purely based on design of tree structure only. There is no aptitude, there is no reasoning. Aptitude and reasoning questions are totally different here.
नहीं सर वो मेरे को पता है, डिफरेंट इट्स डिफरेंट, पर सर द ऑप्शन विच आर बेस्ड ऑन दैट पैटर्न ओनली इन दिस पीडीएफ।
But the fundamental is again based on the design of tree structure, and fundamental is based on the IS codes only. So what I would suggest, this is a best thing for you guys. आपको अभी क्या करना है कि सिर्फ वो जो IS कोड है वही पढ़ना है, बाकी कुछ देखने जाना नहीं है। उसमें जो भी फॉर्मूला है, जो भी वैल्यूज दिए, वो याद रखनी है। उसी में से क्वेश्चंस आएंगे, तो आपका स्टडी मटेरियल लिमिटेड हो गया अभी तो। पहले तो क्या था कि आपको पूरी बुक में सारे एग्जांपल्स करने थे, सारी मेथड्स याद रखनी थी।
so that means we can just refer IS code for exam preparation, sir.
Yes, yes, that is the best
And
thing.
and sir, what about the evaluation of mark? It is done through online or it's done by manually?
Evaluation is again, it is be online only,
Okay.
because exam is online.
Okay, sir.
All right. Right, so any more questions? Santanu, I
Sir,
hope.
one question.
Yes, yes, Subham.
Sir, what if our microphone is not working like laptop? So we will be like out of the exam if the microphone is not working.
No, no. So for all those queries will be sorted out during the mock exams. Whatever problems you are facing after the exam, you report to us that we had this problem during the exam.
Okay, sir.
Right? Because this everything is new for us also. So we don't know what are the possibilities.
Okay, sir.
Right? So we are
सर
also
व्हाट
getting
अबाउट सर
familiar
वन
with
लाइनर?
it. One-liner. It
Yes,
is
sir, what about
similar to
one-liner
MC.
question?
See, in one-liner, the options will not be there. You need to remember the answer. So suppose, say it is asked like that, which IS code is used for steel structure design? So you need to simply write IS 800. That's it, answer. So something like that. Then what is the percentage of reduction that we do for the strength of the field riveted rivets? So answer is 25%. So you need to write 25% over there.
So definitions will also be asked in one word in that kind of thing.
Smaller definitions, not the large ones.
Okay, okay.
And sir, basically, if we are giving exam from and there are some numerical question and we are solving in calculator, then we have to turn the camera of our phone towards the camera or towards the
Yeah,
calculator.
towards whatever you are doing downward. So you need to put your camera to that only.
Okay, sir. And sir, time duration of keeping that camera towards the calculator.
Till the time you work on that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
राइट, बिकॉज ये सारी चीजें हमारे लिए भी नहीं है। जो हमें जो बताया गया है वो हम आपको बता रहे हैं। अब एग्जैक्ट उस टाइम पे क्या हो रहा है, दैट वी आल्सो डोंट नो।
सर खाली ये एक ही सब्जेक्ट में डाउट है, क्योंकि सर अब मैं एक हाथ से मैं पेन लूंगा, एक हाथ में फोन होगा सर, और एक कैलकुलेटर पे सर कैसे मैं न्यूमेरिकल्स दबाऊंगा सर? वो खाली
हाथ में फोन क्यों रहेगा? हाथ में फोन क्यों रहेगा? सामने रख देना है ना।
तो सर फिर कैलकुलेटर, तो सामने अगर फोन है तो सर कैलकुलेटर मैं कैमरे को बताऊंगा तो सर फिर मैं कैसे देखूंगा न्यूमेरिकल्स को,
और
नंबर्स को?
फोन पे एग्जाम देने वाला है तू? तेरे घर पे लैपटॉप पीसी ऐसा कुछ नहीं है?
नहीं सर।
ओके, राइट। सो एग्जाम के रिलेटेड जो भी डाउट्स है वो आप मॉक एग्जाम दोगे तभी आपको ज्यादा क्लियर होगा या ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस आएंगे, क्योंकि आई एम ऑल्सो नॉट अवेयर ऑफ द एग्जैक्ट थिंग्स। अभी मैं जो आपको बता रहा हूँ वो जो मुझे बताया गया है वही मैं आपको बता पा रहा हूँ। ओके
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
Okay, sir.
सो
Okay.
एग्जाम रिलेटेड
Yes, sir.
queries you can experience yourself in the mock exams. So that is why mock exams are important, ताकि आपकी फाइनल एग्जाम में कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स ना आए, राइट। दूसरी एक चीज जो हमें बताई गई है कि अगर आपके एग्जाम देते टाइम काफी बार कई जगह ऐसा होगा कि बच्चों का नेटवर्क चला गया चालू एग्जाम में,
हाँ सर,
right?
वो
ऐसे
भी
क्वेश्चंस
डाउट
आएंगे, राइट। तो अगर नेटवर्क चला गया तो आपका एग्जाम वहां पे स्टॉप नहीं होगा। जब भी नेटवर्क आएगा तो आपने जहां पे लेफ्ट किया था वहीं से एग्जाम स्टार्ट हो जाएगा, बट आपको आपका स्क्रीन ऑफ नहीं करना है, आपको वैसे ही बैठे रहना है, आपका स्क्रीन ऑफ नहीं करना है, राइट। तो अगर नेटवर्क चला गया तो जैसे ही नेटवर्क आएगा एग्जाम आपका फिर से वहीं से स्टार्ट हो जाएगा, वही टाइम ड्यूरेशन से स्टार्ट हो जाएगा, राइट। दूसरा एक प्रॉब्लम ऐसा आ सकता है अगर कोई पीसी पे एग्जाम दे रहा है और लाइट चली गई, पीसी शट डाउन हो गया, राइट। तो उस केस में क्या होगा कि ये जो सिस्टम है पूरा आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस बेस्ड है, तो अगर आपका सिस्टम ऑफ हो जाता है तो सपोज मैं एग्जाम ले रहा हूँ तो मेरे जब आपका एवेल्यूशन करने बैठूंगा तो मुझे वो दिखाएगा कि ये टाइम पे इसका सिस्टम बंद हो गया था, या फिर ये टाइम पे इतने टाइम से इतने टाइम तक ये बच्चा ऑफलाइन था, राइट। सो आई विल गेट ऑल द मैसेजेस और एग्जामिनर विल गेट ऑल द मैसेजेस of whatever is happening at your side.
Sir, so there will be no invigilator or someone will
The
absorb.
invigilator is your screen only,
Okay, sir.
right? If you
सर
are
अगर
changing
कॉल
your
आता है तो
tab,
बीच में
वो आपको बता देना है कि कोई कॉल ना करे।
सर ऐसे थोड़ी सबको बोल सकते हैं, कोई भी कॉल कर सकता है।
एरोप्लेन मोड पे डाल दो भाई।
अरे एरोप्लेन पे डालेगा तो नेट नहीं चलेगा।
हाँ वो भी है, हॉटस्पॉट ले लेने का सर।
हॉटस्पॉट
हाँ,
कहाँ
दैट इज अ गुड
लेंगे?
क्वेश्चन, राइट। अब नेक्स्ट मीटिंग में मैं पूछूंगा कि अगर कॉल आता है तो क्या करना है, क्योंकि ये
ओके
हमारे
सर।
लिए भी नया है, राइट। सो प्लीज फॉलो द मॉक एग्जाम्स टाइम टेबल, डोंट मिस एनी मॉक एग्जाम। और आपको जितने भी क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, अगर आपको कॉल आता है तो क्या करना है, तो आप एक दूसरे को कॉल करके देखो क्या हो रहा है मॉक एग्जाम में,
Okay, sir.
यस सर।
because it is a mock exam, right? You can try out things.
experiment करेंगे सर हम।